It's Classic FM 94.3 Abuja. The station that plays every song you know, 10 a.m. on the dot. And I've been talking about life nuggets. Now, yes, we didn't have the last two Tuesdays, but the people that I'm talking to are legends. They're traveling, they're serving humanity in different capacities. And as we talk to them from different walks of life, we get to glean from their wisdom. All right. So it is my pleasure to welcome our guest today. What struck me about him as soon as I saw him is he strikes me, and he's going to correct me if I'm wrong. Strikes me like a very forthright, proactive, simple person. He just likes to get to work. And so then when he came, first of all, he was punctual. I was like, yeah, this is the example we kind of need. And of course, hailing from Abia State, he is the former representative of Ukwa, local government area of Abia State. He did this from 2007 to last year. So if the people don't have confidence or faith in you, they will not say, Oga, please represent us. It is my pleasure to welcome Honorable Nkem Abonta. Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, listeners.
Good morning to you. How are you doing, sir?
We're good, thank God.
I like your Niger Delta outfit.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get one myself, but I don't know if I have to contract my people in Akwa Ibom or Rivers or Abia.
Any of them,
Any one of them
yes.
can hook me up.
Exactly.
You're very welcome. It's a long time coming. I'm glad that we proactively planned this our conversation a while ago. Now, so your journey into the legislature, how did it start?
Thank you very much. Well, I started as a councillor
Okay.
in my ward, 1990. But before then, while in school, I did student union politics, student union parliament,
Okay.
and then ESCO.
SUG.
SUG, yes. Upon graduation, then I became a councillor.
Okay.
And in the local government legislative council,
Okay.
I became the leader of the local government legislative council,
Hmm.
and that started my legislative journey.
Hmm.
And then also became a senior legislative aide
Okay.
to a senator, to then senate president, and having garnered some mature experience, I said, okay, let me give it a shot.
Give it a
But
shot.
before then, I also tried the state assembly in one.
Wow.
We didn't do much. Abacha died.
Mm.
Democracy was sort of truncated again.
Chai.
Fell off again. So in 2006, then I took a bold step on the having garnered what I deemed to be legislative experience or parliamentary procedures.
Right.
Then I contested 2006, won 2007, and did 4 tenors. I sat out last June 2003.
Wow. Interesting stuff. So, where did you school? Where did you go to university?
I school in University of Jos.
Oh, yeah, Jos side.
Yes.
Wow.
I started law 1984 to 88. Took my master's there, and then law school. Yes.
I wanted to go to Jos. I love University
It's
of
a cool
Jos.
place, even though what we had then is no longer the same thing now. Fine weather,
Yeah.
good vegetable,
Fruits,
fruits, everything. But now this religious trouble, insecurity has messed up the place.
I still love the place, though, and I have friends there.
The weather, the climate is fantastic.
For 1 week, my jeans didn't get dirty. I said I have to come back here.
You enjoyed it.
I got admission actually into University of Jos, but somehow they kept saying educationally less developed. I met the HOD of Mass Comm because that's what I wanted to read, and after a while of my pressure, the Faculty of Arts, the dean said, "This man, this is your confidence. I must see your results." Because the HOD didn't show me. He started sending me to Professor Idbanga and other people that I should go and meet my brother. I said, make I know whether I passed this exam or not. Then the dean about saw my results, said, "Oh, you passed. Keep in touch and let's see how it goes." It didn't happen, but thankfully I took my father's advice. I took JAM again. I went to University of Nigeria, so I'm a super lion today.
The lion.
Yes. So, but now UJ is also a very, very formidable school, and for me, I have people who've been there, but I feel like your journey has to do with purpose as well. I feel like if you're on this earth, you must be asking the question, or at some point, you will ask the question, why am I here? It's very important to know that, of course, you didn't create yourself. You're here for a reason. I want to know that reason. So, for you, your journey, how is it linked to your purpose? and fulfilling it?
Oh, well, I discovered that I needed to be independent. I needed to impact life. I
Okay.
needed to bring about orderliness in society.
Okay.
It's interesting to know that in search of what to do, I declined admissions to do philosophy and so on. I said, am I going to be a reverend father? I opted to be a mechanic. I
Hmm.
trained mechanic for about 9, 10 months before
Wow.
I got admission to read law and jobs.
Okay.
Then I wanted to see that things are orderly.
Hmm.
The way mechanics handle people's car and so on, I felt aggrieved. I wanted to have an independent workshop, well
Right.
organized. After looking at CFO and all whatnot, I
CFA
said,
motors.
can't we have something? Must we depend only on the whites to do
Right.
such
And things for
acquisitions? So on?
ourselves. Right.
But from if I was under a car when one of my schoolmates still at my said, what's your name in jam? He passed. That's how I
Hmm.
went to Jos to read law. I said I wasn't going to read anything about law, so I'll be able to know what to do, defend myself, defend people, and put this in order. And to the glory of God, it worked. I finished the law successfully,
Hmm.
came out, and then started by mass education.
Okay.
Started by defending people, even pro bono when I had no
Right.
money. I
Right.
started to look at people's rights. Started to look at what can we do to better the society. And I deemed the faith that venturing into politics will help me create a better society, will help me create enabling legislations, will help me check what goes on. So like we read and then we hadn't phone like social media as now,
Yes.
but I had that urge, and I thank God. I realized it. God helped me in the pursuit.
Very, very inspiring already. Are you on social media now? Though?
Yes, of course, I
Yes.
have WhatsApp
Because I know
on my
you,
phone. So yes.
okay, because I know you said then you were not really, but I mean, playing your role now, we understand that times have changed. It's a global
Yeah,
room, no
sure,
longer even a village.
exactly,
And of course, being visible in social media so that people even see these your giant strides or
exactly,
the impact you're making on society and humanity is
exactly.
very key. Now, let's do a little bit of a flashback. You know, that's one very interesting and funny part of Nollywood movies. They always like to do flashback. So, what was your childhood like, and what was your favorite memory? Because I see that what's coming to my mind is that there's a link between how you grew up and this desire you had to see things orderly. They say charity begins at home. So, what was your childhood like, and what was your favorite memory?
Well, my mom, late now,
Oh, blessed memory.
was a headmistress.
Hmm.
So while in school, at tender age, in fact, it's interesting, I didn't do primary one
Okay.
because to take me to school, by the time I was fit to do one, I already surpassed that class. So I went to
Wow.
school quite early. One of the things I enjoyed, I remember being a scout,
Okay.
and that also shaped what I was doing.
Boy Scout.
Boy Scout,
Okay.
yes. At a tender age, we were there and we will parade, we will do things, and then we will like an example to other boys.
Hmm.
Wear our blue and white uniform, we will recite the Scout, and so, and our motto is also always be prepared, be said. So that also
Always be
shaped,
prepared.
yes, that shaped me in whatever you do, be prepared in whatever you're going to see. I took that in, and I like getting prepared for whatever I'm doing. I like being, of course, time meant a lot to us.
Exactly.
So I was also a class monitor. I became class monitor in various class. So timekeeping and keeping people to be punctual, keeping people to do what you should do. For the Bible said, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your
Diligently.
might. So if you're determined to do anything with all your might, then you may succeed. You see, if you're diligent, but you must persevere in spite of all odds.
Right.
My thinking and my belief that was that where you have the odds, that is the way to follow. You don't avoid obstacle.
Right.
Obstacle is the way to follow, and beyond every obstacle, you must see the success. That's what they taught us basically in scout. So when we go to those camp, we used to do the boys scout do camping. So people now shouldn't think it's a waste. There's a lot
Oh,
to be learned there.
that's
You are also taught to surmount obstacles as a scout. And we looked at that, but we don't know. They'll set high jumps, they'll set things, they'll take you to the bush and you do 3 days camping.
Wow.
You leave the comfort of your home. Within that period, we learned a lot. I can still remember how I wish we can now play that role again. And but these days, most kids at that age now look at more of social media thing, and you don't have that ruggedness. We are taught to be on your own, to live on your own. You can imagine then that a boy of 10, 11 will begin to master, will be able to go to the market, do an error and so on. But now, the reverse is the case. They may have artificial intelligence, a lot of it, but the native intelligence, the common knowledge is no longer there. They are like artificial things. It's like the packaging that's not artificial. So when I look at that memory, if I see some scouts now, I patronize them, I encourage them because I learn from them. Just like the boys brigade in the church and so on. We should encourage that, and that will keep you away from vices. That will shape your life, academically and morally and otherwise. We got moral instruction, we got physical instructions and so on. But it's for you to keep it and follow it, and then that will shape your life a lot. That helped me a lot. So when I flash back those days, I feel happy, I feel good, I feel like, can I rejuvenate and then do it again? But of course, we can't wind the hand of the clock.
Yes, we keep moving. What is one memory that stands out for you in all these experiences you just described, camping and the Boy Scout and on all of this?
So I can still flash back at our Scoutmaster, Mr. Ogunka. It will make you to be thorough, must be neat, must be clean, must be an example, must be prepared. It must be example to others. He says if others don't envy you to be in scout, then you don't want to be a scout.
Wow.
Others, the one will dress up like during Children's Day, Independent Day, the scout to take charge to put the people in line. So you dress in a manner that other persons will want to be a scout and so on.
Okay, so what was the criteria for being a scout? Could anybody be a scout?
Anybody, yes, no criteria. You must be fit, you must endure, he must be disciplined, he must be thorough, he must be disciplined, and so on.
Okay, interesting stuff. Now we're going to take a break soon, but you talked about some mountain challenges. What would you say has been the greatest obstacle you've had to surmount being in politics this long?
Oh well, one of the greatest challenges the inability for the electorate, for the masses, to differentiate between legislators and executives.
Okay.
Of course, ignorance, education, lack of education is a big challenge to democracy. The more truthful you are, they compare you to legislators, so they don't know when you're telling them the reason. For example, a legislator got no business doing executive function. The functions of a legislator is not known. They think you must do certain things. That is why you see legislators go out of their way to attend all the burials, to attend all the ceremony, doing things that are not connected to legislation. If you like, pass the best bills and laws, and what are you bringing home? You didn't attend the marriages, you didn't attend the burials, you didn't attend. So we are being evaluated upon their social engagements, not their legislative functions. It's a big problem to many legislators, forcing legislators to do what is not required of them and are making legislators abandon their core mandate of legislation. It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge.
But doesn't it mean that we have maybe peculiarities? Because I know that we pattern our democracy after the American presidential system, and at some point we were doing the parliamentary system. But what would you say? Do you feel like we have, this, as much as we want to imitate or learn from the West or other countries that have done this, do we have a unique nation, Nigeria, where there should be that? Maybe those functions should be, that's part of our own communal African style. And in representing or in legislating, that can be infused. Or maybe awareness or, enlightenment of the people that, this is what we are meant to do for you. And then you can hold us to account based on these duties of legislating or representing you.
I like presidential system of a democracy.
Right.
We practice it to enjoy it. But not to say that legislators should not socialize or do all those African things, but their core mandate of a legislator should be made known. Right. And we can only know that through exposure. We can only make that the electorate to know that through education, through sensitization. Right. It will help a lot. A legislator got no business doing roads. The core mandate of the legislator is lawmaking, oversight function, and all whatnot. So we are supposed to check the excessiveness or otherwise of the executive.
Now, with the word representative, what comes to mind is, what does your own role apply to the people? Is it still making laws? Because when I hear representative, it always feels different from senator, for instance. So let's just have a clarification on that.
No, both senators and honorable members are all legislators or parliamentarians.
Okay.
Their core mandate is to make law.
Okay.
Then representation, for example, to make sure that they are represented in the affairs of the nation, and then oversighting, and then also looking oversighting the executives to see what they're doing. If you don't oversight them, you will not be able to see whether they did things as it ought to be, as prescribed by law, and so on. So, not to say that they cannot attract, if you are representing, during the national budget, you should be able to say X, Y, Z should get to my people.
Right.
Implementation is purely executive.
Okay, implementation is purely executive.
Yes.
Okay.
But even though you can oversight, say, why didn't you do this? Or what have you not done this? And so on. That's why in the state, the governor is in charge.
Okay.
He should see the day-to-day running of the state. However, the state legislature will now oversight what he's doing, will give him a budget. That's when he submit a budget.
Right.
He should be able to look at the budget, rewrite it, because budget writing legislators, rewrite it, amend it, or give it to him. In most cases, it's returned that way because of other Nigerian factors and so on. So the functions are defined. But most will expect a legislator to get into road construction, doing this, that. So some legislators will go out of their way to satisfy the yearnings of, okay, why will you assess a legislator based on number of weddings or burials he attended?
Seems like this one, you really been describing these events. And it's really one of the pains you experience.
Exactly. So if you do not attend, you are seen as not being a proper rep. No, it's not part of your functions. At best, you can give support.
Right.
And if you don't have support, so when you compare American legislator and Nigerian legislator, they are not over-labored in that manner.
Right.
They not call you to do that. They check them. For example, what did you say at the floor of the House? Is that what the people want you to say?
Right.
What law did you support or did you not support? So they vote electronically. So they also keep record because they are knowledgeable, they're informed. So they keep knowledge of what you said in 2020. Right. So why are you saying this now? They keep a track. But now, those in the community may not be able to even know where you voted in constitution review. They don't know what you said though. Even when people vote against women, and they are right, the legislator will go home the next day and call women together and give them wrapper. They are happy. They wouldn't bother that man voted against the women right.
Wow.
But he called them the next day, come to his house, and he gives them clothes and so on.
Yes,
and they are clapping for you.
Their needs.
What will benefit them? You've breached it, you voted against it. They have no knowledge whether he did that or not. So, but if you supported them and didn't come to Sharapa, they will attack you and harass you. You can see it's not clear.
There's a real challenge here. Yes. For me, I want to ask if do they see this your relationship with them or attending social functions or being there? Do they see that as your corporate social responsibility?
Not even corporate, it's as a mandatory one. They see so for me, without sounding arrogant, I want as the best legislator for several years, the highest lawmaking legislator. Okay. Yes, I ranked that way. I want those awards.
How do you win? How do the winner
some people assess you and then look at it and they give awards.
Not the people that are
no. It's a fine body.
If they were the ones to
not them. They did that. But in spite of that, they say, "We saw you are the best lawmaker." How does that translate? Is that why you didn't come for my wedding? Is that why you didn't come for my mother's burial? So we will now struggle. I struggle to make the two ends meet.
So how do you? So you now start to explain to them that.
So that will take me home every Friday. I tried every Friday to attend to some of these things that they demand of you. You still struggle to do your own legislative assignment. So it puts pressure on you. Puts pressure on you. Because they are called, you answer all their calls. Even when your PA takes the call, they get angry. Say, they didn't vote for your PA, they voted for you. But somebody must take the load and so on. So that's stress. And when you establish American legislature may not see you, may talk to you on full throat.
Right.
They may even when campaigning. Right. They use the screen to do their campaign. So, but here, you must physically present and so on. So it is taking a toll. But all the same, presidential system is good.
It's good.
I want us to begin to sensitize the electorate, so they begin to know who to hold accountable. Yeah. And they should also hold you accountable and question you at the proper time, what you did and what you've not done and how. That's why how constituency officers, they should be able to use it to lay their complaint and all whatnot.
That makes a whole lot of sense, Honorable. I want to say that sensitization is key. How it is done, I don't know if it's the executive that's supposed to now implement this sensitization or the legislators, but I definitely agree that there's a lapse in knowledge of, they need to know. Once they know, then they can actually do better.
Sure.
But in terms of governors now, we've had a lot of complaints about different things we're dealing with in the country today. And some callers will even say, people keep talking about Tinubu, the president. How would you say governors are playing their role? Are they really playing the executive role which the people are now looking to you to play? Because I want to believe that there's a lapse. If they're looking to you to play the role of the executive, and then there's no sensitization on, oh, this is our role, are the governors playing their own role so the people can be like, oh, a governor came, or this is what he's meant to do? And are the governors supposed to do these things that they're demanding?
If you ask me, from my experience,
right,
and one of the problems we have in this democracy is that governors are mini gods. The law, the constitution provided lapses, bottlenecks in favor of governors.
Okay.
That's why you can't even have internal democracy. Governors do what they want to do, the way they do it, without serious problem. For example, if the state assemblies are alert and sit as they ought to, they can check the excesses of governors.
Right.
But for want of independence, governors turn them to an appendage. Governors put them the way they want. Right. Governors tell them what to do. They're not the one telling governors stand what you should do.
They're like rubber stamp.
So governors will do that and put a high jump on the legislators, particularly national legislators. They put them on high jump by making them as if they are now in Abuja and they should remain in Abuja and shouldn't work at home. So and the governors will begin to do things that will make them want to compete because they want to come back. Right. So they go out of their way to do non-legislative issues to the detriment of legislative issues.
Right.
What's the business of a federal legislator putting borehole in this year of the Lord? I mean, it should be left for local governments,
right?
For that part, so they can do more serious issues. But because we are expected to be in every family, in every ward, you begin to do piecemeal things that doesn't matter. Rather than articulating that a school be reformed and done, put properly, they begin to think about an individual. It's good to do so. Right. It's good to socialize. It's good to help. But you should be able to differentiate how and assess you, because if you come to the parliament, you can't do one bill, you didn't contribute in lawmaking, you are even absent because you are busy attending to this, that is a big challenge.
Big challenge. What can be done? What can be done to improve this scenario, this situation of governors, of what can be done? What would you say if you had the opportunity to change things?
If I had the opportunity, from my experience, the powers of governors should be reduced.
Okay, power should be reduced.
We must take powers and return it to the people.
Right, take power and return.
I'm not saying remove their immunity, no.
Okay.
But they are clothed with so much powers to do things in the state. And that is why people are afraid of state police.
Okay.
But in actual sense, state police will do us a lot of good if handled like we see in other crime. But the fear is that will it not be abused? If you have state police, most crises will have.
Right.
In different areas will not be so. And it will lighten the load on the federal police.
I see.
But the excessive of governors will lead to anarchy, using them as for personal purposes and so on. But having said all, I still think that democracy, presidential system, to me, seems to be the best.
Seems to be the
because
best.
Democracy is the best way of life. From what I've seen, I found that earlier. I decided to pursue it and followed it.
What would you advise anyone who's venturing into politics, into leadership?
Well, anybody trying to go into leadership, one should have a thick skin, should have a mind
Thick
of
skin.
yes, of forgiving,
forgiving,
to tolerate, to endure,
okay,
and then and see everybody as yourself. And again, you must have a fallback. You must have a second option. I'm a lawyer by training. I lectured law, I practice law, and I practice legislation. Exactly. So now I've finished sitting. I've sat out May,
June
20 for last year. I went back to my chambers, cleaned it up. I now do legal consultancy and legislative matters as a result.
Where you based doing that?
I'm in Abuja.
In Abuja, yeah.
Zone 7, yes, I do that.
All right.
So, for want of what to do, politicians do see it as a do or die. Because so for you to come in there, you must have a profession, you must have a trade, you must have something to do. So if the people say, come back, I tried what I left out. I tried to see if I could get into Senate. For one reason, it didn't work out, and it's not a do or die. I went back to my chambers and started practicing while I also politic. So the stress is not on me. I'm not idle. Not idle. So for want of what to do, legislators will go out everything to see what they do. But I also want to remind the people that Tom Batten is also not the best, because you hardly will see mature legislators. After the first 4 years, they are voted out. They've not matured. They are still learning the rope.
Right.
So you still have legislators that are nascent and don't understand the rhythm, because it takes you nothing less than 4 or 5 years to master the rules, to master the game. So when you've mastered it, you vote them out. In America, you see people who spend 30-something years, 40-something years, the same in Britain. So they've known that they chose as a career and they practice. But here, you've seen as the quickest way to grow rich, and say it's turn by turn. And that turn by turn will produce very weak legislators, and then the executive kept getting too powerful. Because the legislators are not mature enough to say, hey, Governor, what you're doing is wrong. Or Mr. President, what you're doing is wrong.
Right.
But it's not so. And you can't even oversight or supervise what you don't understand.
Exactly.
I once had a business in UK, parliamentary wise. The person in charge of banking and currency had spent 40-something years there. So what is central bank governor or exchequer going to tell her? But here, if you are new, you may have been a banker before elected. You may know nothing about finance.
Right.
You are just your first year in office. You are the chairman of banking, for example. The central bank governor will tell you anything, you will believe them, because you don't know. You can't question what you don't know. I'll give you an example. In my early years of legislation, we came for a budget defense, and the director then said they want to spend so million to buy aquaculture, aqua canopy.
Okay.
And that's some hundreds of millions to buy manual excavator. I was scared. I said, out of figure. I said, please, pardon me. What is this manual excavator? Maybe I introduce it to my constituency. I was also afraid, am I going to expose my ignorance? I also said, what is this aqua canopy? Tell her, behold, it was umbrella and digger.
Hi.
I said, umbrella.
Those English.
I said, please, define this thing for me. Let me know that you are going to put hundreds of millions
into this thing
on the site.
Wow.
Aqua canopy. It's umbrella.
Aqua canopy. So aqua is water or rain, and it's a canopy, of course, in English, that covers you from.
And then the manual excavator are digging and shovels. I said, are you buying for the whole Nigeria? So we must do capacity training for legislators and sensitization, and so people can understand ourselves and so on. So you must understand what you are supervising. If you put me behind this system now, I can't press the button because I can't manipulate it, because I don't understand it. I don't know it.
Right.
I don't.
I'm the legislator here. I'm the legislator.
So you can manipulate, you can train, you can supervise the whole machine, the buttons.
Yeah.
That's what it is like.
It's a pleasure talking with you, Honorable Nkem Abonta. And I know we're out of time on Life Nuggets today, but it's been interesting. I just want to say I wish you all the best in your practice and all you're doing. I mean, I like the ideals you shared, from being prepared as a Boy Scout, being disciplined, being neat, being kind, letting people show an example. And I want to hear your life nuggets. Like, you give us 3 of your life nuggets from your life, from experiences that you want to share.
Well, if you ask me the things my life nugget, I would say the last 3 that I handle now. I lectured.
No, I mean your life principles. So,
one, he must be time conscious.
Time conscious, right?
If you don't, anybody who don't know time, then you're doing nothing.
Okay. Time consciousness.
It must be diligent.
It must be
in whatever you do.
Right.
If you're not diligent, you can't do anything properly. It must be honest.
It must be honest.
It is the basis of what you do. Whatever you do, whatever you sow, you reap. Honesty pays. It gives you self-satisfaction.
Right.
It preserves your dignity.
Right.
It makes you feel good.
Right.
What's honesty? What you're doing when nobody's seeing you.
Yes, that's your character.
Most people do different things publicly, and they do a different one in
private.
Character is something. If you don't have character, you've lost all. Attitude is all. So this is where I place my value. It shouldn't be Nigerian time. It shouldn't be African time. It should be punctual as much as possible.
That's right.
And if we have a deal, if I can't make this, I should give you advance call now. I have to say, sorry, I'm going to run late.
Right, right.
I'm going to run late. You know?
Right.
And if we have an agreement, it changes. Then sorry, I can't do that again.
Right. Keep your word.
Keep your word. Let your character. Yes. Be able to predict you. And that's what took me to where I am today. From my election days, from my practice day, from my political days. Of course, I'm still in politics.
Right.
But for that, I was legislating. I'll tell my people, say, look, I'm going to come or I'm not going to come.
What party do you
PDP.
Okay, PDP.
Stay PDP.
Okay.
I'll tell you, oh, you're asking for this amount. I don't have it. I'm not going to give you a false promise. Say, you get this, and then you get something different. I'll tell you what I can do and what I cannot do, so that you assess me from that. If you like me, you go fine. If you don't, you go fine. I won't paint a fake picture. That is what is keeping Nigeria the way we are. We'll paint fake things. We'll go right when we intend to go to left. And pretend we missed our way. Meanwhile, we had already predetermined to go this way. Let people know where you are going to and so on. It will reduce tension. It will reduce friction. It will make people predictable. We should be able to pray. And then Nigerians should be able to look at our past and determine where we're going to.
Right, right. Well said. Well said. We've been right here on Life Nuggets on the Classic Money Show with me, Nkem Abonta, and our guest, Honorable Nkem Abonta, former representative of Ukwa, local government of Abia State, from 2007 to last year, 2023, giving us his life nuggets, taking us through an interesting, inspiring journey of his life so far. So thank you for making our time to be with us.
Thank you.
We look forward to having you on more conversations, and all the best in your practice. You know how it is. Keep it locked right here. Tuesdays, 10 a.m. on Life Nuggets. We keep living life intentionally, because life no get duplicates. Yes. All right, my name is Eteks Abonta, and this is a song that the Honorable likes, and it's a good practice to have. One love.